What's up, everybody? Today with me, I have Tyrone Blassingame, the founder, the coolest dude in the world of Overly Dedicated Network. How are you, man? What's going on?
I'm good. Thank you. Thank you for saying I'm the coolest man in the world. I don't think I'm that interesting, honestly. But, I appreciate you that you said that.
Yes. No, I think you are. You have like dope qualities behind you, and I think you're just like such a solid dude, like always like showing love to not only people in the LMG fam, but also like artists in all different areas in your network and all that stuff. So,
and that's the goal, man. I think a lot of people are talented, and I'm interested in people. So, why not promote them? It don't cost nothing to, repost or just comment and say, hey, that's dope. That's all people need.
Absolutely. So hopefully a lot of people will be reposting this interview, and we'll both be catching some new followers and subscribers and all that stuff. But nice. So I want to talk with you about the Overly Dedicated Network. So you had founded this, and I've seen all throughout quarantine since when we first met up until now, the evolution of it. So if you want to talk about it, tell us what it's all about and what you're working on right now.
Okay, so first, OD Network, Overly Dedicated came as a Kendrick Lamar have a mixtape called Overly Dedicated a while back. That's not where I actually got it from. I got it from a friend of mine. He was going to name his something about Overly Dedicated. And when I heard the name, I'm like, wow, that is amazing. Because at the time I was doing film. Oh, I still do film, by the way. I don't want to say at the time. I still do film. I'm a filmmaker. I direct and stuff like that. But so I'm like, this is super dope. And I relate to it because at the time I was overly dedicated towards making film and acting and all that type stuff. So I called him. We talked about it for a little bit. So then I changed it to Overly Dedicated Productions, which is my production company still. You know what I'm saying? But as I got more to I started fashion, streetwear more. I was starting to get into interviews and doing things like that. And I'm like, it still could be Overly Dedicated Productions, but I start Complex, and you got your own Buzz feeds and Revolt TV. And I'm like, I don't just want to do film. I want to do fashion. I want to do interviews. I want not just me, but I want to see these things from other people as well. So it's like, you know what? Let's just change it into a network. You know what I'm saying?
That's awesome.
It covers all that. It covers fashion. It covers film. It covers music, in one whole thing. And so I was like, you know what? Let's just make it a network. You know what I'm saying? Let's just do that. So that's what OD Network came from. But it was a brand as well. I still have merch. I haven't released it yet. But
hello. You gotta release it after this interview because now you're gonna have new fans. So you better be working on that.
I used to sell the shirts a while back, a couple years ago, and then I stopped and I started another brand that was more streetwear based. Right here, I know you can't see all of it, but this is just one of the shirts that was a part of it, which is inspired by NWO wrestling. I was a huge wrestling fan as a kid. But yeah, so that's where the OD Network really started out on a short term. Maybe I didn't get deep, but on the short term, that's why Overly Dedicated started the network.
That's so cool. So you've been working on it, and all through quarantine, we had quarantine questions, which you would reach out to your followers and ask them some questions and get connected with them and engage with them. But now you're also working on a brand new project that I just watched this morning called the Slap Report. So I think this is one facet that you talked about, fashion and film, music, and all that stuff. So explain to us what the Slap Report is about.
Oh man, so the Slap Report. So one day, me and my girlfriend Venus. I mean, Venus, but for everybody else.
We love Venus. Hey, girl.
we was going to a drive-in movie that was pretty far away. So we started playing albums. I forgot what it was. I think it was Jay-Z. I'm not sure. Chris Brown. I'm sorry. His first album. Chris Brown's first album. And I'm like,
thank you, Venus.
Yeah, right. She right here, by the way, guys. But yeah, so he's listening to Chris Brown. I'm like, yo, he got a whole bunch of hits on this album. Like, this album really is a classic. Then I was thinking, how many albums that you really I listen to albums. I'm like, I don't really like all of them. Like, which one I can listen to straight through? So I was gonna make that a quarantine question at first. I was gonna make yo, what album is all hits, your classic albums and stuff like that. But I didn't do that. but I started reviewing other albums like 2 Chainz one, which I just dropped on the I'm like, hey, I always have my opinion anyway. I always tell like my friends and stuff like, yo, y'all heard that? Like, oh, I don't really like it like that, or I like this song or this song. So I'm like, why not just, call it something? Then I didn't know what to call it. And, Venus again helped out. She like something about slap. And then when she said slap, I'm like, yeah, that's good. And I'm like, damn, what I'm gonna add with it? So I'm like, the slap report, like a news thing. And you can just put it together. So I'm like,
no, I love it. I was like, oh, that's a good title, because not a lot of people use that, to promote like a report, like they're like, here's the news here, but you're like, I'm gonna make it official, but it's also gonna slap. So
it got to slap, and it got to be stuff that I think is dope. And where we review albums, mixtapes, even a single, like somebody might drop a new single that you think is hot, or it might not hit. So it's a report like, yeah, they missed that one.
Flap or flap? No, that's not a good word, but
so yeah, slap or flap. I was trying to find something that was going to actually rhyme with it too, and I couldn't think of nothing. So that's why I said the report. That's why I said the report.
Yeah, you're like, you know what? Report's a good strong word. It makes it sound official. So let's be using that. I love it. That's so cool. No, I love hearing about it, because I think, and I want to talk a little bit more about it, but you're definitely behind the camera kind of as much as you're in front of the camera. So it's good to hear your perspective doing shows like this, like the Slap Report, having quarantine questions. But what are you more passionate about? Because you did mention that you're a producer and a filmmaker. So do you have a preference of being in front of the camera or behind the camera?
I actually like being behind the camera. It's funny.
Knew you were gonna say that.
I'm a behind the camera type of guy. I only really do shows because, like, I don't have people to do them. But I want these ideas to come out. So it's like, okay, I'll do it myself.
No, it's great because it gives them an insider scoop about like what's going on in your world and being able to connect with you, because there's always so much curiosity about, because imagine, like, I'm just going to say, like, Steven Spielberg, right? Like, huge director. Do we know much about his personal life or what he does? No, we just know that he does movies. Yeah. Unless you do research. So it's like nice that you're like, okay, you guys know my work for what I do behind the camera, but you also get to know me as a person.
Yeah, no, I started off, don't get me wrong, I started off in front of the camera. I started off as an actor. I majored in theater at Cheney University. So I was a theater major. I've been on TV and movies a couple times. But once I seen like behind the camera, and I like the process from the very beginning, like the idea, and seeing it all the way to the end to like a finished product. And it's like, wow, like as an actor, normally as an actor, you just go in, you do your job, and then you leave. You're not a part of the idea from the jump, and you're not part of the post-production. You could do a whole movie and be cut out the whole movie and don't know it until it come out.
That's foul. But it happens.
It happened to people. Even with Jared Leto, when he did Suicide Squad, I don't know if y'all noticed, but he had an article out where they was saying he was super pissed because he recorded so much in Suicide Squad that he could have had his own movie, but they only had him in them little parts.
No way.
Like everything out. So he was like upset about that, so
that's
it happens.
Crazy.
It happens. It definitely happens. You can still get your check. You get paid for it though.
I was just going to say, I don't know what's worse, like getting cut out of the movie or like, you get paid for something, but you're just like, for what I got paid, I should be in it a hell of a lot more than what I am.
And you just want to show your work, and you probably did a lot of dope scenes that probably never made it, that you probably felt that was dope. You know what I mean? But so yeah, that's what I like. I like the beginning process to the end. So, that's why I started falling in love behind the camera, and giving other people opportunity, which is like one of my biggest things. I know a lot of people that are super, 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 super talented, like yourself. And,
Thank you.
You created your own opportunity, but I'm just saying, like, people super talented like yourself and Venus and everybody that's in the LMG group. And it's like, some people don't know where to start, or some people just need that little push to start. So like even creating a network, that's why I said I want other shows that I want other people to do. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to have to be the person in front of the camera. I want other people to, have a platform, because some people don't want to start because they're like, oh, we have no platform. I don't have no subscribers. Like, some people don't want to grind it out. So it's like, all right, well, I have a platform. You want to have a show? I mean,
right.
Platform. That's cool.
Right. You're like, we don't have to just interview, or we can do like a whole show on my network. I'm giving you the opportunity. But I will ask, because you kind of started this on your own, what I'm assuming. Like, did you have a mentor before this, or were you just like, no, I'm gonna run with this? Like, how did you get started?
So with the network, no, I never had a mentor. In film, I had mentors. People that I looked up to that actually I was able to reach out to, and they responded. A lot of people don't respond. You know what I'm saying? I was blessed to have people that respond. Like I took acting classes from Clifton Powell, which is Pinky from Friday. So we built a relationship, and from there, like he mentored me to a certain extent. Like even when I go to Atlanta, because that's where he resides at right now, like he would bring me on his sets, and like let me talk to the director and things like that. I was blessed with favor from God, you know what I mean? So, but then I got my friends that helped me out for sure. Venus helped me out. She's a producer on Kickin It With Ty. Janelle helped me out plenty of times. I have a friend named Chuck that helped me out plenty of times. My family really supports me, and if I ask them to do something, they would do it. So, but I really didn't have mentors, but I study people. So stuff that I'm into, I go on YouTube, watch all their interviews and things like that, and like figure out like how they did it, or you know what I mean, and then figure out like, okay, they did that way, so I could do some of that, and I could take from there and then bring what I have to bring it there to like, hopefully work out for the best, but we'll see.
Absolutely. No, I'm really excited to see the evolution, because I mean, granted, we've only met virtually about 7 months ago. So to see all you've done.
Right, by the way, I mean, I didn't say his name. I don't want to disrespect and damn it, when it comes to media and all that. Definitely a mentor.
Yeah, I meant a mentor for the film and all that stuff before we got into this. So I knew that you weren't trying to shade him. Don't worry. Don't worry. No, but I mean, it's so amazing to see like how you really just wanted to get started. And like, thankfully you do have people in your corner like Venus and Janelle, who are also part of the Legendary Media Group, to really inspire one another and feed off of each other's creativity. And that's what I love about having that support. Because you said you have a lot of friends that are in your corner. So to be able to help one another out and have the opportunities or pass off another opportunity that's more fitting to somebody, I think that's so great that you guys are all working towards like your own paths, but doing it together. I think that's amazing.
Shit, I do got one more shout out. I am sorry. Delia, she was the person that gave me my first opportunity as an actor after I got out of school. And I've been rocking with her for a while. And she the one that actually like introduced me to editing and stuff like that. So she definitely, I'm not gonna lie, she was a mentor, because she really put me on to like the camera work and like how to edit and stuff like that too. So I had to give her a shout out. I'm sorry.
Yes, we love you. I don't even know you, but I love you, girl. But like, let's talk about your childhood. So you grew up in Philly, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
But a lot of people don't know I was born in California, but I grew up in Philly.
Really? Okay, because I'm going to talk about Cali in a couple minutes. So you grew up in Philly, and like, thankfully you had, the support back in Philly, but like, what really like piqued your curiosity about getting into this industry? I mean, like, how old were you? Like, what was kind of like that breaking point in your life that you're like, oh my God, I could do this as a career?
Oh man, so it's actually not a long story.
We got time. Don't worry.
Let's do it. I'm with it. So what made me start thinking that way, or before that, let's go before that. So when I was in high school, I was a senior in high school, and you know how you just want to take the easy classes and electives, and then I was like a guy that wanted to chase girls and stuff like that. So I took a dance class, because dance class is all girls in there. It was just like me and another guy. Like I was with it. So like that, let's do it. Plus I actually like dance. Like I used to dance. I used to want to be a choreographer. That's another story.
So you didn't just do this just to pick up chicks in your class. You actually like enjoyed it, and you had the benefit.
Because I know how to dance too. So it was like it was an easy thing. But then the problem was they wanted me to wear leotards, and I was too cool for that. I was not wearing tights.
I think I talked about this on one of your shows. Was it Kickin With Ty? Because I was like, this sounds oddly familiar. I was like, hold on a second.
I would definitely wasn't wearing tights. That I wasn't with that. I wasn't gonna let my friends play me and all that, because people knew I took the dance class. So they was telling me, like, she was like, hey, if you don't wear the tights, you know what I mean, even if you wear shorts, you're not going to be able to get a B or an A. She's like, the most you can get is probably a C. I'm like, I was okay with that. I was like, cool, as long as I pass, as long as I graduate, I'm okay with that. But
you're like, I already passed my transcripts into my college, so like I'm in. I don't care if I get a C. Like, doesn't affect my GPA too much. Yeah.
Tights for sure. But she was like, you know what? You could be an understudy in the play, because since it's the dance class, she's like, I'm the person that do the choreography for the play. And I've done plays before when I was younger, you know, so I'm like, sure, understudy. She's like, yeah, you know, you don't have to do nothing. You're just in case this person don't show up or he gets sick or get hurt. I'm like, all right, anybody that auditioned for the play and get the role, you're not going to not show up.
Right.
You do it, obviously, because you auditioned for it.
Right. And you're passionate and that's what you want to do for this play.
Hey,
yeah.
I'm like, all right, cool. I'm fine. Like, I'll do it. So she's like, cool. And then I get there, he don't shows up.
And you're like, shit. No, I have to do it.
And stuff. And it's like, all right, you got to do it. I'm like, I got to do it? They're like, yeah. But while doing it, it was just amazing. It was kind of freeing in a way. We did West Side Story. I played Bernardo, which is Maria's brother. And it was dope. So it piqued my interest then. And then I had a radio TV class, and the teacher was like, she's like, you have a great voice for like radio or TV. She's like, have you ever thought about that? And I'm like, no. Because, you know, I played basketball. I was a basketball guy, basketball star in Northeast or whatever. I went to Northeast High. And I'm like, no. She's like, you should think about it. I'm like, yeah, but I agree. They're like, okay. I'm not doing that. Cool. You never know which, so many times your teacher speaks stuff into you because they see things and you never know what it end up coming out. I just noticed that like 2 months ago, like, wow, she did do that. And it's wow.
You're like, I love that teacher. Like, I should have given her credit or listened to her back then. Yeah.
But so I had interest in it. So then when I went to college, you know, you had to pick a major. I was going to do sports medicine, but the school I went to didn't have sports medicine. So they like, what major you going to pick? I'm like, well, theater was cool. I actually enjoyed it. So let's do theater. You know what I mean? So I just did all the classes that I needed to do, took dance. And again, I didn't wear leotards again.
I was just going to ask. You know? Did you finally succumb to the pressure of having to wear it? But you're like, nope, I stayed true.
I ended up doing it in college and I still got clowns. So it's like, I should have just did it when I was in high school because I had to play in this play in college and we had to wear tights. Like, there was no getting around it.
You're like, damn. Yeah, no, but you know what? Like, you appreciate it more back in high school because that shit was free. Those classes. Now you're like, I got to pay to wear tights. Like, come on, man.
Right, exactly. People acting classes, no, it's like, it costs now. It was free when you was in school.
Yeah, sure. You're like, I could have had my homeboys dog me for wearing tights, but at least that was free. No, I'm paying tuition on it.
It was free education right there. Yeah, so from there, it just, I enjoyed it. And when I got done, I had my son. He was younger, and I'm like, I mean, I graduated from college. It's like, what am I going to do? I got a kid now, and it's like, I got all this experience. Well, I thought I had all this experience in acting. I'm like, why not just, I went to school for years. I might as well just attempt to try to do it. And from there, it just went on, and I just started like really loving it and getting deeper into it, studying more. And, you know, like I said, been blessed to have a tribe back in Philadelphia where, you know, we all came together and start creating, and, you know, it just went up from there.
That's so cool. So,
but we'll talk about that.
Yeah. Well, I was just going to ask, so you and Venus have actually made the cross country move. You guys made the decision a little while back to actually move to LA. So you've lifted your roots from Philadelphia and have moved all the way across the country to chase your dreams. I cannot talk. So especially during quarantine, that's a very, very difficult task to handle, but you guys did it successfully. I will say, so props to you guys on that.
Thank you.
Yeah, but you're welcome. But it's just so, you know, fun to see that you guys are really, really overly dedicated, but passionate about chasing your dreams. Yes, OD. But chasing your dreams. So tell us a little bit about, you know, the transition of moving, because like obviously your career is evolving and you know where you want to go, but now you're like, I have to physically move in order to get where I want to go, you know, mentally and, you know. figuratively and realistically being able to move. So how has it been since the move? How's it going out there?
All right, so it's been good actually, but the whole process of us even moving from the jump, um, years ago, Clifton Powell, like I said, the actor Clifton Powell always told me, if you want to be a gladiator, you got to go to the arena.
Ooh,
So,
I
so
like that.
you got to be where they at, like pretty much, you know what I mean? So I've been struggling and betting on that for years, honestly. Like I've been supposed to move out here 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been supposed to move out here and it never like really worked out. I kept pushing it back or something came up or, things of that nature, or was scared, honestly, maybe. I'm not even know, like I was subconsciously, maybe I was scared as well. But like I said, one day we always talking, me, Venus, actually Janelle too, because we always thinking about coming out here. One of our other friends named Ronnie, and we like, yo, we really gotta move. I'm like, we was like, you know what? We gonna set a date, and on this date we're moving. Like we don't care what's going on. We gotta move by this date. That date didn't work out, but it put in our mind that we really have to leave now. Like you know what I'm saying. So the second time when me and Venus set a date, we like we're gonna do this date right here. It didn't work out again.
But you still were pushing
Yeah,
for it.
yeah. And then the last time we like, you know what, this is really going to be the set date that we're going, and we don't care what happened. And at that time, honestly, I was still broke as hell, like super, super, super broke. But when you put things out in the world, God hears it and you really believe it, things start working out for you. So in the process of us saying that date, probably like 2 months before that, I was like I said, super broke as hell. But COVID happened, and actually, it's funny. This is messed up to say. A lot of people lost their lives, and people got sick, and lost family members. And I even lost family members from COVID. But it wasn't that bad for me.
Well, I'm sorry for your loss, but you also gained a lot too. So it's just
I
like,
gained a lot. Like just even with hours at my job, because I worked at a hospital at the time. So COVID is, we got to be there. So just getting a whole bunch of hours. So now them checks is getting bigger than like they normally come in. My job also gave us another check just for working during COVID. So they gave us like a bonus check, which was great. They didn't know I was leaving. I knew I was leaving, but they didn't. But I took that with me too. So it'll just be a blessing, And like I said, we had family members, and the same thing, worked out for Venus, and we was able to make the move comfortably. Actually, a lot of people were not able to make it comfortably, and since it was COVID, everything was shut down. We was able to adjust here. I feel like if we'd have came here when it was popping, we probably wouldn't have been able to adjust because we were already trying to be on the move, because our mindset is like we're coming to get work.
yes.
But since it was shut down, we was able to like chill, relax, know some stuff, even reach out to people, be a part of the LMG. We was a part of LMG before we left.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But
Yeah, because I remember when you guys are like, we're moving, and I was like, what? So I remember, yes.
Even though Damage from Philly, I met Damage 2 years before that, and I actually gave him a shirt. I was like, hey man, Damage, I'm from Philly too, and he actually gave me his number back then 2 years ago. He's like, man, I'm still from Philly, I still got my Philly number. Like, yo, you can hit me up, like, and it was kind of cool. So it's funny when he had when I seen the class, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm taking this class. Like, I'm with that.
That's so awesome. It's good to see that like third time's a charm, and you actually got like finally pulled the trigger after the third time, but you had that motivation to be like, yeah, we're going. Timing may not be right, but I think grand scheme of things, timing was right. Exactly what you said. Like you're trying to like get your bearings in LA, trying to figure out your neighborhood, where to live, where to start working, what to be doing, because otherwise you're going to be like so distracted by all the things that not are really necessary, like all the like the celeb parties and all this stuff, like trying to get into.
Is that because people like, you want to go here, you want to go here? Like people be caught up on that. I'm not really a person that even wants to be caught up in that. I'm not that person anyway. If it ain't a networking opportunity, I really don't care too much about going to them type parties. I don't even like to party. I'm a person that like to chill in the house or have a kickback with people in the house. I am a fake extrovert.
Fake
I say that I don't
extrovert.
like people. And it sounds mean when I say I don't like people, but I don't, not that I don't actually like them. It's like I don't really, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm cool. Like I will put, like if I had to put the, you know, like as in interviews and stuff, you know what I mean? I'm interested in people, but like I don't like being around a lot of people. So parties and stuff is not for me. That's what I'm
Yep.
saying. Unless
Yes.
the networking opportunity there and I'm there for a reason. Like a lot of times when I go to parties, if it's a network opportunity, I already do my research on who's probably going to be there, who I need to try to talk to, who, you know what I'm saying? Things like that. And I do talk to other random people too, don't get me wrong, because other people are interested and people got a lot going on. That's why I started the interview show, but we'll talk about that too. But so yeah, I don't really like be around a lot of people. So if it ain't, I'm cool off the celebrity parties. Like it's cool to see them. I would love to see them. Like, hey, that's dope, you know. But if it ain't really no network opportunity, not really just there to party and turn up.
Well, listen, you're talking to the antisocial socialite. So it's like, I feel you on that. I feel you. And actually, Julia, who's in our group, she had interviewed me a couple months back. And she was like, you know, there's introverts, there's extroverts, or there's ambiverts. And it's kind of like being right in the middle. And I feel like that's where you fall because that's where I was. I'm like, people are cool, but I say all the time, I hate everyone. You know, I'm
Yeah.
always saying that. So it's like, no, I feel you because it's like people are really cool and interesting and you get to hear their stories. But like most of the time, you're like, I just want to be alone or I just want like my people. And that circle is like super small. I don't want to have to like fill with just like a bunch of names. Like I just want my tight knit group. So I 100% am with you on that one.
Yeah, definitely like that.
Yeah. So you're an ambivert. Yep.
I never knew that was a name. So yeah, that's me.
Me either until that interview where she was telling me, I was like, I've never even heard that term before. So I don't know if it's new or if it's just something that we never knew about, but it's like really where you fall like right in the middle of like having that introverted nature and also having that extroverted nature in you. So,
Right.
yeah.
No.
Yep. And then I was talking to Kyle in our group. Everybody were throwing all these names out from LMG. But I was joking with him and I was like, oh, I should interview you again because he says he doesn't like to hang out with a lot of people either. And I was like, and he was saying he's like a fake, you know, social person. And I was like, well, you're the social anti-socialite. So we're going to flip the names. I was like, let's do an interview together. But that's how it is. And I think like creatives, they're so stuck on creating and using their talents and doing all that stuff, but a lot of it takes having to talk to other people or work with other people, so it's not that easy to do your job with them.
I'm so bad with like phone calls. Like I really don't like them. I have to change my mindset though. Like I'd be texting somebody and they call and I'm like I don't feel like talking. Like just text me, bro. Like
you're like, everything that you're going to say to me in this call can be put into words via text message. The message is still going to be the same. So
exactly. Or just voice text it to me, you know.
yes, you're like, make it simple. Just don't make me pick up the phone.
No, I'm gonna get better with that. I'm gonna definitely get better with that. And I'm gonna start getting on the phone. Because that's real business. You know, I'm trying to be a businessman. I'm trying to change my life. It's like, no.
Right. And if you have this radio voice that your teacher was talking about, you need to exercise it. So instead of just doing text message, if this is a networking opportunity, they don't hear your voice. They don't know any better. So if you talk to somebody on the phone, they're like, wow, his voice is smooth. I have a radio opportunity for him. See, like it all kind of falls into place.
You never know. Exactly.
I love it. So we talked a little bit about your other shows, but I'm like, duh, when you mentioned Kicking with Ty, we didn't talk about that. So can you talk about Kicking with Ty?
Oh man, Kicking It With Ty started, I want to say 2018 maybe? 2019, beginning. I'm not sure, something like that. But like I said, I am very interested in people. I'm interested in people's stories. I am interested in how people think. I always say I want to be on the fly on the wall because I want, or in somebody like you watched What Women Want? Oh, what is What Women Want? Mel Gibson. What's the one where he heard what the girls are thinking?
Yes, I did see it. I'm like, no. Yeah, I think that's what it is. I haven't watched the full movie, but yes, I think that's what it is.
I always know what people are thinking. You know what I'm saying? I always think like, yo, I wonder what's in their head right now. Like, what are they thinking about? So and plus, like I said, I know a lot of talented people that don't know what to do. They don't know how to promote themselves. They don't know how to market. They don't know how to do these things. And they don't have these opportunities. I'm like, oh, you need to get on the radio. Well, I don't know how to get on the radio. I'm like, well, start contacting people, but I'm like, so let me create something because I can walk down the street. So let's say before we met at LMG, if you walk down the street from me and walk past me, I wouldn't know what you do. And you're extraordinary. You got a dope job and you doing these dope shows and stuff like that. But I would have never knew because I don't know you.
Well, thank you for saying that. But yeah, you're right. It's like we would just be walking by and it's like, unless you had, honestly, because we deal with physical things all the time, unless I had something really cool on that you would want to compliment me on, you're just gonna be like, nope, this short girl's just walking by me right now, and I'll be like, oh, this tall dude is walking by me right now. And that would be like the only thing we think of, unless we were wearing something that we would want to even start conversing about.
Exactly. So it's like I want to shine a light on people, the everyday person that's doing extraordinary things. So my fault.
No, it's all right. I've been tongue-tied this whole thing. So no worries.
That's doing extraordinary things. And they're not really regular. They're actually stars. It's just that nobody knows. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's probably somebody that was better than Michael Jordan. It's just that they never got that opportunity. Yeah.
Right. Right. Yes, absolutely.
So I just want to give opportunity to people that don't have that voice. So I was able to talk to people like I did the episode with Venus that had a dope, a dope episode. She had a dope episode where she shared some stuff that was amazing. I had a episode with a guy named Ryan Harris, As I Plant This Seed, which is actually one of my family members, and he stood outside for 2.5 days and did not eat to raise $30,000 for kids that at-risk youth to create his own building. And he actually did it in 2.5 days. If you say he's willing to stay out there, as long as he needed to get to 30,000, but it only took him 2.5 days to do it. But, that's extraordinary. You know what I'm saying? And outside of Philadelphia, you probably wouldn't know.
No.
So interview him.
And now I'm super inspired to watch this interview because that's amazing to see that somebody's really doing social work in that capacity that we don't hear about. These are like everyday heroes, so it's like when you look for people to be inspired by, it's not always the celebrities or the athletes or names that are on the news all the time. It's these people that are in your community every day that you're like, oh my God, you are doing such incredible work, but it's so underappreciated. So that's awesome. Well, congrats to him.
And actually, he's a twin, and his twin is a chef, and that serves a lot of celebrities, but nobody really knows. But people in Philadelphia, a couple of people know, but people don't really know. He serves a lot of entertainers and rappers and stuff like that nobody even knows. But he's like a celebrity chef. So giving people like them opportunities to be able to spread light on what they do, that's extraordinary. I had a producer on the show by the name of Kyra Knox that's doing her thing right now, producing a lot of different shows and directing now. Who else? I'm trying to think. Different rappers, give it the rapper that I definitely feel that I feel as dope music. The entertainer, just shine a light on everybody. Of course, I still want to do celebrities and stuff. That's the ideal thing, but I still want to always find out who's next and who's up and coming. That's what I like to do.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, you never know, these people that you're interviewing could be the next big thing. So it's like, catch them early while they're genuine and they're not like a sellout. Hopefully none of them change to be that, but it's like, you get to hear the real them and how they're grinding from the beginning. So it's really interesting to see their story.
I want to know, why did you get into this? Like, what made you the same questions you asked me, when did you realize that you wanted to do this? Like, tell me experience. And then I want to know, like, who's your favorite, rapper or designer or, these things. So, just get to know people and shine light on people that's doing extraordinary things that everyday people probably wouldn't know that they're doing that.
Right. And I think it's nice because it's like, you have been saying such nice things about me, but it's just like, I do this because I enjoy this, but I never like really think that, okay, people are watching this interview. They're taking it in, they're getting inspired, they're enjoying watching it. I'm like, I do it because I love it. And hopefully along the way, other people love it too. But it's like, I just got to keep going with it,
By the way, I love the marketplace finds. That is so that is super hilarious. I didn't know like all that weird stuff was sold on Facebook Market. Like, that's really crazy.
Yeah, I have like a whole camera roll. So I was like, okay, I can't do an entire episode dedicated to it. But I was like, you know what? Maybe I could just like start a little sneak peek. But since then, I've had people send me, they're like, oh, you should put this on the show. I saw this. And, so it's funny. But I'm like, people are weird out in this world. And I'm just like, I mean, you watched it. You saw all the things that were on that. I'm like, who would sell like literally a Windex trigger spray thing in a Sprite bottle, but the Sprite bottle is not included? And I'm like, why are you going to sell that for $6 plus $5 shipping when I could go get Windex at the store for $2.99 and do it myself? I don't understand, but I was like,
you never know. Somebody probably they probably sold it.
for their sake, they did. I was like, keep hustling harder, be creative, be sustainable, because otherwise people are going to be throwing this shit away anyway. So I love it. Now, I have one last question for you, Tyrone, because we've talked a lot about your roots in Philly and how important it is, not only from like growing up to just like loving the community, even though you're not living there. But what have you learned in LA thus far that you would like to take that knowledge and bring to the creatives that you know in Philadelphia to like really foster? Because I don't always feel like you have to leave your hometown or your city that you live in to make it an amazing place artistically. So like, what would you say for them if they want to stay in Philly and love Philly and enjoy it? Like, what could they do there to create the scene?
So
That's a very loaded question. Sorry.
You saying that, which is true in a way, like artistically, Philly has a lot of dope creatives. One thing I would definitely want to bring back to Philly is, that's a good question. As in creatively, probably just network more. A lot of people in Philly, don't get me wrong, it's like people have their own crew, and it's like, which is cool. Everybody got their own tribe, but don't be as scared to vibe with another tribe to create something amazing. You know what I'm saying? Because that tribe probably got something that you don't have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So network, honestly, you have your own crew, like I said, but opportunities. I've been hit up like, hey, we having this webinar from this producer that produced Insecure, or a writer that's on Insecure, or you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of opportunities here to network. There's a lot of opportunities to learn more. I think we lack in that in Philadelphia. A lot of the stuff they're trying to stop, like creative things. You know, that's why Rec Philly, like we talked about earlier, is so dope, because they're really shutting down like the rec centers and stuff, you know, in Philadelphia. And the kids don't got that opportunity. So it's like Rec Philly is like that place for kids to be creative and stuff like that. Especially growing up in like an urban neighborhood, we don't really get the exposure to these things. They don't think it's possible. You might see it on TV, but they don't think that it's possible that they can be on TV. So when you got like the Kevin Harts and the Will Smiths and people that's successful from Philly, they definitely come out of Philadelphia, which I feel like you do have to do that to a certain extent, you know. But when you bring back, don't just bring back money, bring back opportunities. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all could, you know, have an office to Overbrook Productions in Philadelphia. You know, it don't have to be the big office, but have just 8 office.
Right.
You know? Or Heartbeat Studios and stuff like that. So when I make it, because we're going to speak things into existence.
Absolutely.
We want to bring them opportunities, them buildings or whatever back to Philadelphia, because there's a lot of talent. People just don't know how to get out there, you know. And some people mindsets is like, oh, we can't do it. So I do feel like right now you might have to move, but just come back.
Yes, yes.
Bring the opportunities back with you. You know what I mean? I ain't saying you got to live there, but, you know, bring the opportunities back. You know, have an agency or something. If you're a person that have an agency there. You know what I mean? I would love to have my overly dedicated network, a building in Philadelphia somewhere. You know, that'd be dope. That'd be dope.
Yeah. No, because I think like you think about like so many people that were born and raised in all different boroughs of New York and how successful they've been. And they always are like, oh, I'm from the Bronx, I'm from Brooklyn, I'm from this. They always rep their neighborhood so hard, you know, and it's really when they get famous, it's because New York is so congested that they do move out and they buy a bigger home and, you know, they get out. But it's just like, there's so much talent that is bred from New York and people like love it forever and will still continue to live there. So I just want other opportunities for other cities to have that. Like you shouldn't have to only move to New York or LA for a media opportunity. I feel like we have so much more to be able to like give access to so many different cities around here to be in this industry. It doesn't have to be that like bi-coastal.
And it's crazy because Philadelphia is a really, really big city. You know what I'm saying? I think it's like, what is the sixth largest city in the world or something like that? I mean, not in the world, in the United States or something like that. It's something big like that. But so we definitely got the space, or you know what I'm saying? It's the people there. So you know it's probably a whole bunch of talent, you know, even just in the Pennsylvania area in general. So yeah, I believe the same thing. Like we just got to create opportunities where we like, you know, bring it back to the city. So, you know, other people will be discovered.
Absolutely. So we're gonna say what, like I'll give like a 5-year timestamp on the OD network going back to Philly. Like you
I
can
mean,
still live in LA, that's not a problem. But I think that you got to bring your office to Philly within 5 years.
let's pray on that. I hope so. Listen, if that works, then we're gonna touch and agree on that one.
Yes. Yes. I'm like, go make your money, go make your connections, do all that stuff in LA, you know, like in front of the camera, behind the camera, all of that. But then when you're set, you're like, okay, I'm going to go back to Philly and I'll live in LA and I'll have a couple homes. Like, we're going to make this work. We're going to
Yeah,
speak
yeah,
this
and
into
I'm
existence
cool
for
with
you and Venus and for your families and all that stuff. So you guys have the opportunity to go back to the city that you love so much.
oh man, that'd be beautiful. I definitely think so.
Yeah. Yeah. So, like you said, you're going to make it. It's just a matter of when.
Exactly. Yeah.
I
I,
love it.
I strongly believe in that. We already made the jump, so now it's like when.
You
Once
can't
you
go
make the
down.
jump, it's like when, you
Yeah,
know.
you can't go down from here. There's only up. That's the only option. So,
Right, for sure.
yes. All right. So, Ty, I love you. Thank you so much for talking and spending some time with us today to hear more about your story. But I want people to have the opportunity to actually see what you're working on. So, if you don't mind dropping your social handles, your YouTube channel, everywhere that we can find you, so people have the opportunity to really check out
Oh,
your work.
everybody get a pen and paper because there's a lot. I have a lot going on, you know. So first, you can follow the network page on Instagram as OD Network _. So it's OD Network _. The YouTube page, please like, comment, and subscribe on those videos. It's Overly Dedicated Network on YouTube. You know, the Kickin It With Ty got his own page, so you know you can follow that. It's Kickin It, which is KICKIN _IT_ with WITH _ Ty. I know it's a lot, but we do that. Also, the streetwear brand, Bear Monkey Rebel, which we didn't really get all the way into, but you know, the hat, you see it.
I was just going to say, no, we did not talk about it. We talked about your shirt, but not even your hat.
Yeah. I actually just realized that I had the hat on when I was looking at the shirt the whole time, but because when I'm sitting, I'm tall, so when I'm like this, I don't really see it until I went down like that. But
you're like, oh yeah, I forgot I was wearing this.
Yeah, Bear Monkey Rebel clothing, which means embracing your individuality through streetwear. So follow that page. We got a lot of stuff. We had a wrestling collection that dropped. We also have the University collection, which is Rebel University. You know, we just trying to keep moving, you know. So follow them pages. Facebook, Tyrone Blassingame. I have a LinkedIn, Tyrone Blassingame. I don't really be on it. I need to be on it more. Tyrone Blassingame. And you know, that's about it.
And what's your personal telephone number? And what's your fax number? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh no, y'all gotta DM me for that. I ain't putting that out.
I'm just kidding. Yeah. I was like, we have all different access to you, from like the apparel collection to your show to everything. So I was just like, wow. Okay, what else do you need? What's your home address? No, I'm just kidding. That's so awesome.
Thing I'm interested in, man. Why not? We only got one life, so try to do everything that you're interested in, and then when you find something that clicks and is good, go for it. You know.
I love that. No, this is awesome. Thank you so much, Tyrone. I really appreciate you taking the time to chat with me. Come back anytime and hang out, and I can't wait to see what you have working up for 2021.
I'm sorry, I got a question.
Yeah.
I know you listen to music because you got your own playlist out.
Yes.
Would you want to do a slap report?
I could do that. Yeah, that would be amazing.
All right, we're gonna talk about that. All right, we're gonna talk about that for sure. That'd be dope.
Oh, I would love that. I know. And I just started sneak peek for whoever watches this, but by the time this airs, it will be the beginning of December. The first Friday of every month, you're the first person, and Venus, I can actually hear this too. I just decided today that every first Friday of the month, I'm going to do a playlist dedicated to a specific city. So there's going to be artists that are like, so I'm going to start, I think, with Boston. Not that we have many artists out here, and just move. So every, first Friday of every month, I'm going to like pick different cities and put their artists on the map. So
that is amazing. That is dope. You on to something right there. That's definitely, you on to something with that.
Thank you. Dope. You're the first person I've told. I literally was walking the track at Harvard today, listening to my playlist that I put together. And I'm just like, wow, I need to give like exposure to some people that live here in Boston that may not have it. And then other cities, or like, Jay-Z is my favorite rapper. So it's like, what's my favorite song of his? Okay, let me do a New York version, and, pick different New York artists, Philly artists, Detroit. I'm going to like really go big and then pick a city every month.
Something. All I'm gonna say is stick with it, because that's going to end up being something big. Like, you know what I'm saying? People going to want to like start submitting to yours. Like, you have an email and people won't want to start submitting their music because they don't want to be on your playlist, because your playlist is going to be the thing to be on, especially for their city. You know what I mean? So just keep going with it. That sounds dope.
I hope so. Thank you.
I got to myself. Yeah, it's lit.
I'm like, woo, insider scoop. So yeah, and I would love to do a slap report. Thank you for thinking of me. So we'll definitely get on that. And if it's just me doing a solo one, or you and I on a Zoom together talking about it, like, let's do something. Let's talk about an album together, song together. I would love to,
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. I'm with it.
I'm so excited. So Tyrone, thank you so much. I know you probably have a busy day ahead of you. So
gotta work. That's it.
Yeah. We all gotta work, man. But yes, I appreciate you, and I look forward to talking to you soon.
All right, same.
Thanks.
OD boy out. I had to do mine.
Yes.
OD on everything. Let me do all my things. OD gang on everything. You know what I mean? OD boy out.
I love it. You had to. You can't end an interview just like bye. No, you have to do it. So, all right, do it again. The official.
All right. So with that being said, until next time, OD boy out.
All right, thanks, Ty. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, bye.
All right, bye.